All right. Wow. Okay. So, the week we decided to take a break from these videos, a few more subscribers came to the channel. So, one, sorry for not having videos for you, and two, hi, how you doing? You doing good? You're looking good. Is that a new haircut? Ooh, spicy. Welcome back. Thank you for joining the channel. We really appreciate you taking that time to subscribe to the channel. But if you haven't yet, if you're watching these, definitely hit that subscribe button and notification bell, as well as, hitting that like and share button. At the end of this video, if you liked it, smash those buttons. But welcome back. We're back with another coffee games, which this week, we don't have coffee this week because, I just got out of work. I'm about to have dinner after this, and we're having a V8 energy in these videos. I don't want to put marinated chicken on top of coffee. No, thank you. But here we are. We're here with another coffee games with a V8 energy. Delicious, by the way. And I want to talk a little bit about next-gen systems. I wanted to talk about should these next-gen systems be delayed, but Review Tech USA already took that idea and made pretty much every point I was going to make. So yeah, instead, we're going to be talking about, are we even ready for next-gen systems? So I want to start off with my first point, but before I get started, hi, how you doing? You doing good? Great. I know I already said it before, but by the time you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, definitely hit that like and the share button so that more people know about the channel. And we really appreciate you filling in the spots of marketing, I guess. I don't know, but I just want to get started with my first point. Are we ready for the next gen systems? Let's talk about it. So 4K TVs are becoming more mainstream now, a lot more mainstream than they were even 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Not everybody has a 4K television. I know that. But at the same time, you can get 4K TVs a lot easier, and the most important part of this, a lot cheaper than you could before. Even 5 years ago, 4K TVs were kind of a pipe dream, in the same way where today, trying to get an 8K TV. Sure, you can get one for like $800 to $1,000. Sure, you can go ahead and buy an 8K TV, but it's not exactly mainstream right now for 8K TVs. But now 4K TVs are just more accessible. Even more so, we got a new graphics card, the RTX 3080, which is really pumping out the 4K native for most systems, most PCs. It's now accessible. It's affordable for a graphics card. Not the most accessible, but it's still affordable. And even more so, I shouldn't say that, but there's some games on the One X, the Xbox One X, that are running at native 4K. One of those being, I believe, Red Dead Redemption 2 runs at native 4K. But 4K graphics are becoming a lot more mainstream. They're becoming a lot more accessible. They're a lot more, present in gaming in general. And I think it's time for that leap to go forward into the next gen, because here's the sad truth about that, is that even though games are ready for 4K graphics, they're ready to do it. 4K TVs, 4K monitors, they're so accessible. 4K graphics are becoming accessible. Here's the problem though, with this generation, is that the One X and the PS4 Pro are still attached to the old systems. Gross. Is that a VCR? The PS4, the original one? You mean the Apache helicopter? Gross. But it's still attached to those systems. So no matter how much we want those 4K graphics, it's putting an overload on the original systems. So really, you have to make that jump forward to get detached from those systems. So in terms of graphics settings, I think we're ready for that leap, and I think the leap is needed so that we can improve in graphics, so that your PS4 original doesn't burst into flames or launch into space because it's got the jet fuel power of a NASA's shuttle. I don't know. But that's my first point, is that I think 4K graphics are a lot more accessible to the mainstream public. But that actually brings me to my next points. So now we're about to transition into this new generation, but let's say you're not ready. Like I said before, 4K TVs, 4K graphics, they're not in every single household, but for those who are ready to make that leap forward, it's the smooth transition that these companies are offering. Take, for example, Xbox, Microsoft. They promised that they're going to make their games, backwards compatible. No, it's just cross-gen. I guess they're still making games for Xbox One for years to come, they said. I believe Sony also made that same statement. I'm not positive on that, but I feel like they did, and I just couldn't look it up. I couldn't find it. But if I'm wrong, write in comments down below. But now the promise that you're going to be able to play the same games on Xbox One, whether they'll be good ports, I don't think so, but they're still making it for you. But even more so, the statements that came out from both Microsoft and PS4 is that all of the games, the PS4 games, will be playable on PS5. All your Xbox One games are going to be playable on the Xbox Series X. So you don't have to build up an entirely new library. Now you have all the games that you spent hours into or still haven't played yet, and you can still jump forward, make that smooth transition into it. And I think these companies are doing a lot to make sure that if you decide to make that jump into the next generation, it's the smoothest transition ever. And lastly on this point, most importantly, is that a lot of these games that are going to be PS5 are going to be cross-gen platforming games. I believe even Fortnite, Epic Games said that if you're playing on the PS5, you can still play with your friends who are still playing on PS4. So even if your friends jump forward into the next generation of gaming and you get left behind with the old systems, they made it accessible so that you can still play with your friends that decide to jump ahead. And I think this transition going into the next generation has to be one of the smoothest I've seen in years. So while not everybody will be able to make the jump, it's nice to know that once you do, it will be a very nice transition in, that you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm leaving my Xbox One game behind or my PS4 games behind, but you can take those forward. Oh, my friend did this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what I'm saying. I think I made my point with this, but great job by these companies. But this brings me to my final point in this. Yes, 4K graphics are much more mainstream than they are. Even when the 360 came out, not everybody had 1080p, but it was still available in the mainstream. 4K now, great. 4K graphics is a lot more accessible. Once you do make that transition, great. It's a smooth transition. Fantastic. Super, even. But when we talk about the final point here, is that we have to talk about real world issues that are going on in the world at this point, not just in the USA, but the entire globe. Who's going to be able to afford these systems? So here's the real kicker. We're now facing a pandemic, and with this pandemic, a lot of businesses closed down. And with these businesses shutting down, we're facing unemployment, people losing jobs, meaning there's not a lot of money going on in their bank accounts right now. And here's the real funny part. It's now September. This video is coming out on a Thursday. So Thursday, September something. I can't even keep track of the days anymore. But hopefully by the time this video comes out, this information will actually drop and I'll be wrong. But we don't even know the price of these consoles yet. We don't know what we're saving up for. We don't know if it's going to be $400, $500, $600. A lot of people are speculating and seeing like what options there are, and nobody knows. Hi, Adam with Freshly Pierced Ears here. So Xbox did come out and say that the Series X is going to be dropping November 10th for $500, as well as a digital edition for $300. So that information was released post filming this. But yeah, that's the information. Yeah, so get out of my house now. Go back to the regular video. I gotta play Tony Hawk. So we don't know, how much money we have in our bank accounts, how much money we actually have, not a hypothetical number, and we don't know the cost of these systems. So really, in the long run with this pandemic, who's going to be able to afford it? And that's where the conversation comes up of delaying these systems. Before Review Tech USA took that idea from me. Thanks, Rich. You don't know me personally, but thank you. But that's the thing, is that should these systems be delayed because nobody can afford these consoles? Now, the one bright side to this, and I guess a life hack for you, I don't know, use it as you will. Because of that smooth transition that all of your previous gen games are going to work in the next gen, I'll be using my One X as basically a coupon for the Series X in 2021. I'm not buying it this year. Absolutely not. But it's nice to know that at least, with that smooth transition going into it, that I can play all my games. I won't need my One X, and so I can use it as a coupon at least. But we don't know the price of the consoles. We don't know the release dates. I hope by the time this video drops that we'll know this information, but most likely, no, we don't. And it's September. Holy crap. A lot of people are using the term in these unprecedented times, in these unknowing times, or however you want to say it, but it's completely true. We don't know what's going to happen in November. We might have another strain and more jobs are going to be lost. So when the conversation comes up, are we ready for next gen consoles? Graphics wise, technology wise, yes. I think the time is now to make this leap, especially since, these 4K capable machines are still attached to the old Xbox One, the old PS4. So I think the time is now to make this leap in technology. But in terms of financial status, I think that's why we don't know a price. I think that's why we don't know a release date. I don't think they're going to get delayed, but a lot of these companies are saying, like,
should we?
Is anybody going to buy this?
Is anybody going to drop this kind of money?
Are we going to be able to mass produce these?
We don't know. But that's the thing, is that we're in unprecedented times. So I think, like I said, technology wise, yeah, we're ready. We're totally ready. Let's go. Let's do this. But financially ready, I don't know. I don't think so. Especially if these consoles come out in November and a lot of jobs might be shut down in November again. I don't think so. But I want to hear from you, though. Write your thoughts in the comments down below. Are we ready for next-gen consoles? Is the technology there? Are we going to be financially ready in November? Are we going to get the second stimulus check?
Wow!
I'll totally use that on Series X instead of my rent. But yeah, let's think that way. I don't know. But write your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to hear from you and all the new subscribers here who are here. I so appreciate you. Here's a virtual hug. Wasn't that warm and nice? That was cool. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I value reading them. I'll reply to you. And yeah, and if you got to the end of this, definitely hit that like and the share button so that more people know about the channel, as well as hitting that subscribe button so that you know when all these videos come out, as well as our weekly podcast, the Games Groceries podcast. So I'm just going to end it here. I want to go get dinner, and I will see you next week for sure. Stay safe out there and wear your mask.